Okay, so speaking of the self-certified home, self-certified or alternately approved, as we call them, are childcare homes that are not licensed, but they are still qualified to participate on the CACFP. One of the primary requirements to participate as a self-certified provider is you cannot provide care for more than 4 unrelated children at any given time. As a matter of fact, you can't have more than 4 unrelated children in your care in a 24-hour period. You must have at least one adult caregiver who's 18 years or older present and supervising the children at all times. And if you're a self-certified provider, you cannot be employed at any other occupation outside your home during the hours that you're providing childcare. So unlike a licensed childcare provider who can hire a director to care for the children and then go off and work another job or do other things, if you're a self-certified childcare provider, you cannot do that. You must be present and caring for the children at all times. A working telephone must always be available. You can only provide childcare at the location that's identified on your self-certification certificate. So this is a location that's been approved by Karamu. If you move, or the day you move, you're no longer qualified to participate as a self-certified provider until we get your new home certified. Your alternate approval or self-certification is only good for 1 year, and it must be renewed annually. So each year, about 3 months before your self-certification expires, you'll receive a letter from Karamu stating that your self-certification is due to expire, and you must fill out new documentation and pass an inspection so that we can get you renewed for the coming year. Now, far too often we get providers who do not respond to the notice when we send it, and we'll send 3 notices before your self-certification expires. If you do not respond to those notices on the day that your self-certification expires, we cannot accept another claim from you, so you effectively are off the program if you allow that self-certification to expire. Self-certified providers can care for related children also. However, in order to claim a related child, you must have at least one unrelated child present and served at the same meal. And a related child includes your son, daughter, stepson, stepdaughter, grandson, granddaughter, your brother, sister, stepbrother, stepsister, niece, or nephew. You must stay in full compliance with the rules and regulations defined in the self-certification form for alternate approval that you signed at the time you enrolled on the program. And this self-certification form is the same form that we send out to you each year to get you reapproved. If at any time you violate any one of the many stipulations in the self-certification form, you will be immediately terminated from the food program. And as a self-certified childcare provider, there are no rights to appeal. So if we determine that you are in violation of any of the rules and regulations for self-certification, we can terminate you from the food program on the spot and not accept another claim from you. So as a self-certified provider, you have to understand how serious it is that you maintain 100% compliance to the rules and regulations. Now, beginning June 1st of 2017, Karamu is adopting some additional standards to help assure the quality of child care in our self-certified homes. These standards are adopted from DHS's environmental standards that they apply to the licensed child care providers. And in reality, these standards aren't any different from what's already listed in the self-certification form for alternate approval, but the DHS licensing standards provide just a little bit more detail and guidance for providers. And so these environmental standards include things like provisions for lighting, heating and ventilation, toilets and hand washing, bedding, sewage disposal, water supply, insect and rodent control, and general safety. And again, our aim here is not to overregulate you, but is to make sure that you are providing the best possible and highest quality care for your protection, and even more importantly, for the protection of the children that are in your care.